morning, good morning. It is morning over here. It's super early in the morning in Texas. And I wanted to come on here and say good morning. Start the day off with a wonderful, wonderful testimony for you. This is Sting Queen. I am your host. Welcome to Train Thoughts, where we take a moment to sit with ourselves, with our Creator, with our Provider, and we look internally to see how we can shift, how we can adjust and retrain our thoughts, how we can develop an open-mindedness for different perspectives, for spirituality and healing and growth, to be stretched so that we can grow and branch out into trees, because we start off as seeds. Nobody wants to stay a seed, right? So I wanted to come on here and welcome you. I welcome you to healing. I welcome you to the kingdom of growing and the kingdom of growth and freedom. Welcome in. I hope that these words meet you with blessings and enlightenment and encouragement and hope. I am going to lead by saying that I have had the immense blessing to be able to grow my faith in my Creator, in God, in Jehovah Jireh, in Yahweh, Jesus Christ, the Alpha, the Omega, the Holy Spirit, in Hosanna, in, oh my God, He has so many names, in our Creator, in the one who created this earth, this world, this life, beings, the one who gave us the breath of life, who separated the darkness and the light, who made night and day, who allowed us to be able to keep track of time when He doesn't care about time. Time is of no essence to Him, because here and now is what matters. Here and now. And I wanted to come on here. Last night I had such an amazing night with my partner, my husband, my spouse of almost, it'll be 10 years on May 19th. And I am so grateful for this man that I feel, whose ribcage I am a part of. Because the way that we complement each other is so scary and magnificent at the same time. And we've been through some trenches. Like, who would have thought we would have even have made it this far? Okay? But we have both been placed in this leadership role by our Lord to be able to encompass ourselves and our minds, our bodies, our hearts, and our soul with some sense of love, compassion, empathy. Trust has been running amok. But hallelujah, I am so grateful for the trust that I am developing for this man who has chosen me to be his wife, and I agreed to do so when I said yes almost 10 years ago. And even though there have been disappointments and letdowns and heartbreaks in this relationship, we're still here. And I never would have thought last night that I would have seen us where we are now, which is a place of safety and security in each other. Marriage is definitely not for the weak, okay? And it takes so much work, effort, love, compassion, patience. Basically, all of the things that the Creator describes love to be in Corinthians. Is it 1 Corinthians, I believe? Chapter 13, chapter 14, one of the two. And I pride myself on growing that gift because I feel like love is a gift that not everybody possesses. Not everybody is given that gift of love because not everybody knows what to do with it. Not everybody knows how to treat love. And for me, I know that God is love. And because God lives in my heart, in my mind, and in my soul, and that is who I follow, I know that I have been gifted with love. And I hope that this is resonating with someone. I know it will. It's going to touch the soul and the mind. It's going to cause some heat tingles in somebody. Because you know what I'm talking about. You feel what I'm talking about. And you feel what I'm talking about because you are in tune with your insides. Just like I am in tune with my insides. And I think that a lot of times we are afraid to be in tune with our insides because we may not like what we see. We may not appreciate that reflective mirror. We may not have the courage, guts, and glory to take responsibility for our thoughts, our behaviors, our actions, our reactions, our responses, because God says that power of life and death is in the tongue. And because I know that power of life and death is in the tongue, then I know that I need to be careful with what I say. I know that my words need to have some kindness in them. I know that I need to show empathy and I need to speak with compassion because I know that that's what love is. I know that I need to have patience and be patient. I know that I need to not remember the past and keep bringing up past hurts and wrongs. I know that I need to forgive in order for me to heal and move on. I know that forgiveness is not about just righting the other person. It's about healing and growing myself. I have to forgive you, whether you apologized or not, because I have to keep growing. And I know that if I don't, I'm stopping my growth. I'm not stopping my growth because I would rather hold on to the ego of man by not forgiving you, by throwing the past in your face, by reminding you of what you did wrong, by having defense mechanisms of sarcastic tones and sharp tones by not giving you a safe space to communicate your troublesome day with me, and then by getting offended when you don't talk to me because you're afraid that I'm not open enough to receive what you're going through by just listening and being that ear that you need as your partner. I was not in a mental space to be there for my husband in a lot of times that he needed me to be in this very challenging world, because I was dealing with my own internal challenges. Was that a fault of mine? No. But I am here. We made it here. To this day, where last night we are in a place to where my husband was able to sit down and we just talked, you guys. We talked because before we were married for 2 years, we were friends. We knew, we got to know a bit about each other. We got to learn about each other's qualities. We got to intimate with each other's ways of thinking and core values, and sifted out things to say, hey, this person is pretty like-minded, and I think that I'm okay with spending the rest of my life with a partner like this because we kind of share the same views and I like it. And I am also now in a space to where the views that we share that are not the same, it is okay. And he is still safe enough with me to express those opposite views and vice versa. You guys, I have been blessed last night with the crown of wisdom. I woke up this morning on what I like to call my watch for the Lord, because every night everybody wakes up, or if you do, there are many people out there, let me say that, there's many people out there that can wake up, or that do wake up in the middle of the night, multiple times of the night, looking at the clock every hour, going back to sleep, or maybe every half an hour. Every time you're waking up at the same time. Do you ever wonder why? Do you think that's a coincidence? I don't believe in coincidences, because I have allowed myself to open my mind to the possibility that there is more out there than what meets the human eye. And because I'm okay with this, I'm sharing the way that I'm connecting what doesn't meet the human eye to what does meet the human eye. So I'm coming to you guys in this Train Thoughts podcast to integrate the spirit with the body, the mind with the soul, to balance ourselves, to unite the divine with our walk of life, so that we can be on a higher path of success, so that we can be optimistic, so that we can continue as seeds to be broken, so that we can stretch and grow and branch out into trees of life, bearing fruit to those that need to eat. Bearing fruit meaning setting the example, showing through our behaviors, through our words, through our actions, how we are to other people in our community. Are we helpful or are we hurtful? Are we bearing fruit for our neighbors, for our children? Or are we just knocking them off the tree and stepping on? Like, you know what I mean? Are we even making the fruit? Are we stagnant? Is our seed even creating a root? How can we break the outer shell of our hard core to be okay with our softer, gentle side so that we love ourselves enough to give ourselves the space, the tools, the mental skills, the spiritual connectivity that we need to stretch out, to stretching out, meaning to take these challenges, these opportunities of growth, as I like to call them, these moments of someone just talked to me sideways and I could snap back. However, I'm trying to stretch my seed and grow my roots. I'm trying to branch into a tree of life. I'm trying to be effective in this world. So, to maintain effectiveness in this world, no matter how this person just talked to me sideways, I am going to come back with a response of love and compassion. I'm not going to get smart back. I'm not going to have an attitude or a tone. I'm going to say something very calmly and pleasantly, like, oh, no, thank you. Well, I'm not receiving that, but have a nice day. I hope your day goes better. Oh! Do you know how quickly that will stop someone in their tracks? Wait a minute. I was trying to mess up someone's day. And it didn't mess up her day. She kept her power. What? Y'all, our Creator has given us the ability to heal ourselves through forgiveness, through kindness, through compassion, through moving on, through moving forward, through renewing our minds, to changing the way that we think, expanding our minds, not being so close-minded to things that we just stop our growth. We don't allow ourselves to grow. And in relationships, that happens when you have issues, everyday problems, the monotony of the days, going to work, coming home, taking care of the kids, making dinner, getting ready for the night, starting it over, cycles. And then you're going to work every day, and every day you're met with different energies, different vibrational frequencies, low and high. So some days you feel great and you're surrounded by a wonderful group of people, and then some days you're like, today sucked. Everybody had an attitude. Everybody was rubbing off on me the wrong way. And you don't realize that people, when they come off on you and you allow their energy to affect your day, you allow someone that talked to you sideways to affect the way that you treat them by clapping back, by meeting them at their level, eye for an eye. Nah, it doesn't have to be like that. Eye for an eye could be, let me meet your evil with kindness. I got you. You tried it, but I'm not going to allow that. In the words of my best friend, Lorraine, I'm not receiving that today. Because I have high vibrational frequencies around me today. I have the shadow of wisdom and knowledge following me around today. And I know in my mind that whatever you're going through and you talking to me the way you just did has nothing to do with me. There's something that you are battling inside, and you're deflecting your energy off onto me. But I am strong enough in this moment to say no. I have my own stuff that I'm already dealing with. I'm not taking yours on too. That's okay. It's called a boundary. Boy, did I have to learn about boundaries, y'all. I didn't know that I didn't have any boundaries. And as I get older, I'm learning that I feel like that was a learned behavior. Lack of boundaries. And it's not to fault or to blame any parentals or anything like that. You know, different times of growing up is different ways of thinking. Our parents grew up in a time frame of survival. It's different. They didn't grow up in a time frame of, let me look into my feelings and explain my feelings and let me try to figure out what I'm saying. They didn't grow up in a time of ooey gooey love. Yeah, they might have loved each other and lusted after each other and cared for each other. But back in the day, economically, you got married for economic status. You got married to have your house. You got married to have your family and to make children and to create farms and to create jobs and things like that. You didn't talk about how last night the things that you said to me rubbed me a little wrong because I interpreted it this way. Is that what you meant? When we don't communicate with our spouses, our partners, our lovers, our friends, our co-workers, our bosses, our employees, our children, when we don't effectively communicate with these people that we encounter on a daily basis, it affects our thoughts, which in turn, our thoughts lead us to believe something that is possibly not true or accurate. But we hold on to that thought and we advertise that thought to ourselves like it's a fact. He thinks this about me. Well, he just don't think this. Well, maybe he don't like how I look. Well, maybe he's not happy in this marriage. Well, maybe that's what we start telling ourselves, and then we believe it, and then we start behaving like they're saying these things to us, like they're validating these things to us with their words, and we are running with that and in turn behaving in a manner that is turning off our spouse. By being closed off, by not being a safe space to come and home from a hard day's work and let me talk to my partner about this day without feeling like, well, I don't know if she's going to listen to the whole story, because as soon as I get to the part about I was talking to this chick earlier at work and we were talking about how the workings in the job weren't accurate and he's going on to the problem that he may need your help with or he may need you to just listen to, but you stopped listening when you heard I was talking to this chick at work. And it's such a common occurrence. We literally have to get into our mind that advertisement, that thought that may pop into our head that we don't have to jump on. What? Talked to a chick at work. I wonder if that chick was cute. I wonder what they talked about. How long did they talk? And when you're running through all these questions in your mind and adding to this story, you're creating this whole imaginative thing that happened that's not even happening, because you're missing that your husband is telling you about the issues at work that are causing him stress, which is possibly having an effect in your house, because now I have a stressed out husband who can't express himself freely to me because I'm so closed-minded and afraid of my insecurities, that I have allowed myself to shut off the words of my husband to only hear what I wanted to hear. I'm recording all of this to you live and raw as it's downloading into my mind as I'm processing this, because I woke up this morning, you guys, with a crown of wisdom, and I feel like everything that I have been going through, everything that I have been experiencing in life, things are just making more and more and more sense. The closer and closer and closer I connect myself to the Creator, the closer I focus on balancing my life with my mind, my body, and my soul being on one accord, being one working unit, my mind working together with my body, not against it. And in mental health, when you have a lot of mental health issues and problems and challenges that you face, you know how it feels. We know how it feels. It feels like the opposite of that. It feels like your mind and your body are running amok. One is going one direction and the other is going a completely different direction, and your body is just being pulled in two different ways, and then it just starts coming out like, oh, she's crazy, or he's crazy, or what the heck's wrong with them? What's their problem? I'm not balanced. That's the problem. The problem is I need to heal, and I need to grow, and I need to work on me. That's the problem. But why are we so focused on everybody else's problems instead of focusing on our own? What we can control, what we do have power over, that's what trained thoughts is. Retraining your mind, not retraining someone else's mind. Retraining your mind. Opening your mind to other perspectives. Maybe looking at things a bit different than what you used to. Because what we used to think wasn't working so well. And I'd be doggone if I will experience the rest of life the way I was experiencing it before. I want to have a life worth living. So I'm going to make sure that I heal enough and I allow myself the space, the love, the compassion, the time, the patience that my body, my heart, my soul, and my mind need to heal from past traumas, past hurts, past pains, past life experiences, to shed DNA connection that I don't agree with anymore, that's not servicing me very well, learned behaviors, to try and shed genetically wired, biologically pre-wired things, to retrain those biologically pre-wired ways of thinking, to sharpen them up, to get better. And because I have been in a space to allow myself to love myself in those ways, it has shown up in my marriage. It has shown up in my life. And I am so grateful. I am happy to see that doing the work actually works. And I'm here to tell you that doing the work actually works. If you actually take responsibility for your actions, if you actually admit to your skewed way of interpreting things, if you actually admit to your cognitive distortions and you say, you know what, I have a flawed way of seeing that. Maybe there's another way I can look at that that's healthier for me. I guarantee you it is going to bring you back to your authentic self, a self that you can be proud of to walk around with, a self that your partner can remain to walk around with and be proud of. Because when you've allowed yourself that space to heal and to grow and to forgive and to have patience and empathy, then you've also developed the ability to have that for other people, because you've been practicing the skill for yourself, which is what I've been doing. So here I am practicing this skill, and I had a moment last night where I was blessed to see and reap the benefits of my works, because my husband trusted me enough to feel safe enough to talk to me about his day. And I know it sounds minute and trivial, but I remember being in a space where I wish my husband would talk to me and be my friend. Again, where did my friend go and what happened to my friend? Well, it's possible that I took part in pushing my friend away, and I have to take responsibility in that. But last night I was blessed to realize and to see that I am growing and I am maturing and I am healing from my past. Because not only was I able to listen to my husband, I was able to offer problem solving skills and suggestions. I was able to offer my own testimony. I was able to offer a listening ear, a safe space for a man, which I don't think we realize is a hard thing for them to find in this world. Which is why I think it's so great to read that a man that findeth a wife findeth a good thing. Because a man needs help in this world. And that help looks like patience and love and listening and guidance and empathy and forgiveness and trust. And yes, we all make these crazy mistakes in this disgusting life because nasty things are placed in our way, and when our mental capacity is vulnerable, we have to be strong enough to choose the right choice at that time, and sometimes we aren't capable of doing so. But to have the empathy and knowing, dang it, I made a mistake, I'm so sorry, I will never do that again. And it sucks in real life to hear, to deal, to grow in that and believe in that, and to have faith. It took faith for me to grow. It took faith for me to grow. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen, the desire of hope for a change. I don't know if this change will come because I can't see it right now, but I am loving enough to hope that it will, and I'm willing to put the work in fixing myself, in hoping to lead by example that will cause others to want to fix themselves to be better, so that we can be better together, so that we can sit down and talk about our day to each other and listen. And if our partner wants advice, we're able to give it, and they are in a space of safe security that they can receive our help, which is our love. Listening to our partner is opening the doors to allowing them to receive the love that we want to give to them, to be there for them as their partners. And I'm so glad and grateful and humbled to share this experience and this moment of glory that I had last night, of a conversation and relaxation, of laughter, of just the joy and beauty of my friend, my husband, my spouse, trusting me again to be vulnerable enough to tell me about his day. I'm shaking my head right now in awe because I know that once upon a time I was so hurt in this life that I created a space that wasn't safe for my husband to talk to me. And how fair was that? And then I got upset and annoyed and irritated when he didn't. But I didn't see all of this. I didn't understand all of this as it was happening. And it's not until we sit in our truth and we sit in truth, we sit in facts, and take out our distortions, take out our mental interpretations, and open our minds to a different way of looking at things, because we know that everybody looks at things, processes things, and interprets things differently. And it's okay, because we are all different people. And when you have a community of different people, it's important to have empathy, compassion, kindness, patience, forgiveness. Because when you encounter people all day and you can't bear these fruits to them when you interact, or when you talk or have a conversation, when you try to communicate, you will not be effective. It's not going to penetrate. It won't get through. You will not reach the other person. They will not feel safe with you. They will not allow themselves to be vulnerable with you, and vice versa. We won't do it with them. We won't allow ourselves to be free. Because if you think about it, it's an entrapment. We're caving and closing ourselves in. Nope. Let me build these walls. Wall it up, close it up. Nah, I'm trying to live. I don't want to be imprisoned by these insecurities. I don't want to be imprisoned by not trusting. I don't want to be imprisoned by pain of past actions and behaviors. I don't want to be living a life in fear. I don't want that. I want to enjoy my partner. I want to enjoy laughing, talking trash with my partner. I want to enjoy giggling and making jokes with the person who chose me to live their life with. I want to love. I want to feel this love in all of my senses. I want to see with my eyes this love from my partner. I want to feel with my hands this love from my partner. I want to smell this love from my partner. I want to taste this love from my partner. I want this love from my partner to be in my entire being and existence, because they are a part of me and I am a part of them. So how can I be there? How can I be there for my partner in a way that they need? Well, first I have to be emotionally and mentally available for my partner. So if you're already in a relationship and you realize that you can't be there emotionally and mentally there for your partner, maybe you need to communicate with them and let them know that, oh my God, honey, I'm so sorry. And as much as I would love to be there for you and help you and listen and try to figure this out, I have so much going on right now, I can't even think straight. I wish that I was able to communicate things like that before, but shoulda, coulda, woulda, I didn't. So here I am now, and in the future, that is my plan, because I like to think ahead as far as having coping ahead skills, because that will prepare me for the what ifs. What if he comes home one day and I'm already in a bad mood and he's in a bad mood? What do I do? Let me either meditate or pray or journal or write or take a walk or yoga or do something to maybe help balance my energy out more, so that when my husband or my spouse or my lover or my friend or my partner comes home, or when my boss is talking to me, I can hear and receive effectively what they're trying to say. I can decipher the facts and not put my own emotions into them and completely miss what's being delivered to me. I can grow. I can mature. So I want to thank my husband. Thank you. Thank you, my love, for feeling safe with me last night. Thank you for your patience for all these years. We've been through a whole lot. Ups, downs, sideways, backwards. We done flipped and rolled. We tumbled, dadgummit. But we're still here, and we're still friends, first and foremost. And I appreciate our friendship. I value you. I value your friendship, and I thank you for trusting me again. And thank you for working on yourself, for continuing to work on yourself so that I can be in a space to trust you and to be vulnerable with you and to be open with you. Y'all, marriage takes work from both parties. It's going to be that much harder if only one person is working, and sometimes it may look like one is working harder than the other, but that's not fair, I don't think. I don't think that's a fair judgment to carry on now that I'm sitting in this. I think the duality comes in realizing that we're both individual people that aren't always together 24/7 because we have things to do in this life, and the times that we are separate, we go through some stuff individually, and that stuff tries to beat us down and break us down every day. But the beauty and the joy in being in a relationship and choosing a partner and having a life with one is when you can complement each other enough to be there for each other, enough to be vulnerable together, to listen to each other, and just be individuals together and accept each other's individuality. Be my strength when I'm weak. When you're weak, I'm yours. Balance, yin and yang. The number 2, completeness, wholeness, right? The other half. So, I think that's what I'll call this podcast. The other half. And I hope that it's been a blessing to you. That is all I had to share. In this moment, I like coming to you live in raw moments because these experiences are happening around the world every day, all day long, with different people. And I wanted to express my gratitude to my spouse and to my creator and to my followers and my friends, to my new spirit family and to my spirit community, that we can grow as long as we continue to have that hope in ourselves to heal, so that we can be better, so we can have those better relationships, so we can have those chit chats throughout the night where we're laughing and joking and talking trash about other people and enjoying each other's company instead of arguing and fighting and not speaking for the night. You know, there's something to this balancing your mind and your soul, people. I'm telling you, there's something to it. So if you're not ready, that is fine. If you are, wonderful. Hallelujah. Thank you for joining me on this rough journey, but it's such an adventure. It's an adventurous one, isn't it? Because you never know what you're going to get. It's like a box of chocolates, like Forrest Gump said. Okay? You never know what you're going to get. But what I do know is I want to be as prepared as possible to receive what I get, and to be able to weed out the things that I want to receive and the things that I don't in an effective manner. That's what I want. Those are my goals. What are your goals? How do you want to be? How do you see your relationship with your partner growing? What are some ways that you can change and grow in? How can you stretch yourself to be a better communicator for your spouse, for your partner, to your boss, to your employees? How can you adjust the way that you think? How can you add empathy and compassion and kindness to your words to help others grow? Because internally, that's growing you. At the same time, you're becoming a better you. You're falling in love with you and who you are and what you represent. I'm proud of us. Everyone who's listening today, I am proud of you and your growth. You're doing a good job. Girl, you doing a good job, girl. You doing a good job. Boy, you doing a good job. Yeah, you doing a good job. Son, you doing a good job, girl. You doing a good job. Children, you doing a good job. Yeah, you doing a good job. Boss, you doing a good job. Anybody who is listening, whatever hat you're wearing, if you're listening to this, you're already growing. Because I'm planting seeds of open-mindedness, a more open way, a more expanded way of thinking. Who doesn't love options? Have a good day.